Good morning. My coffee's not coffee this morning. It's clear liquids. And yeah, feeling better. Went and got an IV yesterday, but not 100% out of the woods. Today is October the 10th. Is that right? Yeah, October the 10th. We're in Proverbs 10. I have not even got my notes marked out. Y'all give me just a second if you don't mind. It shouldn't take just a second here. Get my ink pen right. How is everyone? Welcome in. We're glad you're here. Sorry, being sick has a bad effect on me. Okay, that's all of it. Not a whole lot of notes for this one this morning, but glad you're in here. Avid, welcome in. Tamara, welcome in. I got chicken stock, chicken broth. Good morning, Rebecca. I'm supposed to stay on clear liquids until about 1 o'clock today. We'll see how that goes. Not my favorite thing in the world. Still having a few problems this morning, but we're good. We're good. Y'all, welcome. Yeah, let's get started. Wise Sayings of Solomon is the heading. The chicken broth is actually pretty good, but it ain't coffee. Wise Sayings of Solomon. Verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is the grief of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord will not allow the righteous soul to famish, but he casts away the desires of the wicked. Verse 4. He who has a slack hand becomes poor, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. And there's a note on verse 4. It says, earning a profit without work is a dream. God's people should focus on their work, the hand of the diligent, and enjoy fruits of their labor. Both are gifts of God, or from God. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, 24 and 25 tells us that. Verse 5. He who gathers in the summer is a wise son. He who sleeps in harvest is a son who causes shame. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart will receive commands, but a parting fool will fall. Verse 9, he who walks with integrity walks securely, but he who perverts his ways will become known. And there's a note on verse 9. Integrity comes from the word integra, which is the whole number in mathematics. Integrity is a mindset and the willingness to be and do what is holy and completely right as defined by God, regardless of personal cost or place. Whether in public or in private, there is congruence. Sorry, my coffee pot saying, hey, why ain't you using me this morning? I guess it's making a lot of noise over there. Verse 10, he who winks with his eye causes trouble, but a parting fool will fall. The mouth of righteous is a well of life, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all sins. Wisdom is found on the lips of him who has understanding, but a rod is for the back of him who is devoid of understanding. Wise people store up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. Rich man's wealth is his strong city, and destruction of the poor is their poverty. The labor of the righteous leads to life. The wages of the wicked is to sin. Verse 17. He who keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses correction goes astray. And it says, spoiled children often live unproductive lives, just as good parents exert loving and careful correction on their children. God does the same for his children. Hebrews 12, 3 through 11. Discipline is God's way of lovingly return his sons and daughters to the right path. Verse 18. Hey, Joey, welcome in. Glad you guys are in here this morning. Verse 18. Whoever hides hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool. In the multitude of words, sin is not lacking, but he who restrains his lips is wise. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver. The heart of the wicked is worth little. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for lack of wisdom. The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. To do evil is like sport to a fool, but a man of understanding has wisdom. The fear of the wicked will come upon him, and the desire of the righteous will be granted. When whirlwind passes by, the wicked is no more, but the righteous has an everlasting foundation. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the lazy man to those who send him. Verse 27. The fear of the Lord prolongs days, but the years of the wicked will be shortened. And this note says, the one who fears the Lord will act in conformity to his will. The one who does not fear the Lord will ignore his commands. Longer life comes to those who live as God intended. Verse 28. The hope of the righteous will be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked will perish. The way of the Lord is strength for the upright, but the destruction will come to the workers of iniquity. The righteous will never be removed, but the wicked will not inhabit the earth. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked, what is perverse. That concludes chapter 10 on October the 10th. Let's jump over to Ephesians. And let's put on our whole armor of God, shall we? Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints, and for me, that utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that in it I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Now we are prepared to face our day. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. Love each and every one of you guys. I want to challenge you, go be a blessing for someone else today. And we will see you again tomorrow. God bless y'all.